Now call upon Honorable Member Lekota.
I've got 4 minutes, Chair.
What are the 4 minutes?
I've been given 4. Thank you, Chairperson. First of all, we are indebted to the Minister and others who have already expressed our condolences to those who lost their lives and so on. Chairperson, with regard to this budget, would like to concentrate our focus on this question of the new development bank. At the present time, the Minister has informed us that we are all equal in the fund. Now, from what I've seen in the papers, China will contribute 40 billion rand to the contingency reconstruction fund, and we will contribute 5. Now, by all calculations, we cannot be equal. The nations which participate with us have huge reserves, and we don't have. As a matter of fact, we are more than R1 trillion in debt as a country. I've been wondering to myself, where are we going to get the 10 billion dollars that we need to contribute? Because it does suggest to me we may have to go and borrow that money so that we put it in the fund, so that we can borrow from that money. And I'm talking, in this situation, why don't we just borrow money and do our own reconstruction instead of trying to set up a bank when we don't have money with which to pay our own international debt? This situation is also put us in a very difficult position. The Bretton Woods institutions, which have been lending money for the last 60 years, since the end of the Second World War, to various nations of the world, if they call their debt to those countries that owe them, what are we going to do? We ourselves are now in danger. Our African agenda is in danger because many African countries, in fact, all of them who have international debt, they are indebted to the Bretton Woods institutions. Now, the question for me is, how are we going to ask them to vote with us when they know that they are going to be voting against people to whom they are heavily indebted? I think we must tell South Africans the truth, that we do not have, we are taking on obligations which, as things stand today, we do not have the capacity to carry. And South Africa has to be realistic about that. We have to be realistic because we will leave our children and grandchildren an inheritance of a huge, unmanageable debt. The future doesn't look as bright as the beautiful speeches that have been delivered here say. You know, it was the late Bob Kennedy who told the Stellenbosch students in '66 that there is always a wide and tragic gap between ideal and reality. Let's not repeat the mistakes of the old order, who taught that there are people that there's a difference between black and white human beings, when that was not true. History has since disproved it. We can't say we are equal to countries whose growth rate is 7, 8, 9%, when ours is going down all the time. Honestly, South Africans, let's look at our hard realities and take decisions that help to change our situation for the better. I thank you.